Let's move on to part 13 of the Sunshine Kisses and Fairy Wishes crochet along. This section is by the beautiful Charmaine and is called All Roads Lead Home. So let's get started. We begin with an easy start. We join to the wrong side. I have flipped over my work, there's my little marker there, with a starting or a standing single crochet. So if you've continued your yarn, you need to make a chain one and turn, and then you need a single crochet in that same stitch. So first row is just a single crochet all the way down. Oops. Get yourself to the other end. When you get to the other end, I need you to make a chain two. Oh, I keep flubbing. Chain two and turn at the end, and I'll rejoin you then, and we'll get on to row two. So this one's just easy. Single crochet straight down the line. Chain two at the end and turn, and I'll be back soon. Row two, there's my chain two turning chain from row one, right at the end here, you can see it there. So this will count as my first extended half double crochet. You can make a starting stitch if you wish. Now I need to make one extended half double crochet in every stitch down the row. So let's do an extended half double. So it starts as any half double, yarn over into the stitch and pull up a loop. And for the extended component, we start just by going yarn over and pulling through the very first loop only, so that we still have 3 loops on the hook, and then yarn over and pull through, oops, all of them if you can. That's it. Another one, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1 loop only, then yarn over and pull through all. Pull up a loop, pull through 1, pull through 3. Yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 1, pull through 3. So it just gives you a slightly taller stitch than your regular half double, but not as tall as your double. So that's easy. You will get a rhythm. Just keep going all the way to the end, like that. And when you get to the end, I just need a chain one and a turn. Alright, and then we'll hook up again for row 3. Back soon. Okay, row 3. Now we have a note. It says to keep the tension nice and loose because we're going to be making slip stitches here. So that's one thing, keep the tension loose. If you're struggling with the tension, you may need to increase your hook size just for this row. So keep an eye on that. That's the first thing. Now the other thing I want to do is let's get the lay of the land first, because we need to understand where we're putting our stitches. Now this is the back end. I've turned, I finished my row of extended half doubles, I made my chain and I've turned. So now we're looking at the back of these extended half double crochet. Now if you remember from all of Vanessa's patterns, when we do back loop only stitches, we use the back and third loop. So let me just turn this over. So this is your good side. This is the good side of the stitch. That's the front loop. That's the back loop at the top there, and then you rotate and you find the third loop here, and we use those for the BLO stitches. Now when we are working from the back, our third loop is staring at us, so I want you to ignore that third loop, and I want you to look for this top loop here. This is normally called the back loop. We are going to use that as our front loop only, because that's where our slip stitches are going in this round, into the front loop only. So there it is right there. It's kind of very easy to see. It's just sitting right on the top. That's the loop we're going to use for this row. Okay, so let's get started. Let me get my hook. So now I'm ready to go, but I have to find my first stitch because we have to work up through the front loop of the first stitch. Okay, that's not this, it's this. Remember how I've said many times that when you flip your work, the loops of your stitch are on the opposite side of where you expect them to be. So that's the third loop, which I don't want. I want to get into this loop right there and make a slip stitch, which is yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull that loop over the loop that's on your hook. That's the slip stitch. Oops. Let's do it again. Find the top loop. It's this one here, not the one at the front, this one at the top. Only in that loop, pull up a loop and pull it through the loop on your hook. That's it, and loosely. I've got absolutely no tension on my yarn or on my hook. I'm just really relaxed. And so when we do this, we get this nice little chain going across the top just above these third loops of the half double crochet, but we're looking at them from the back. And on the other side, when you turn it over, it looks like that. So it's going to be quite dense just in that little section. Okay. Let's keep doing a few more. So ignoring this line here, go right to the top of the stitch there and pull the loop through. Into the top, pull up a loop, pull it through. Carefully and gently and loosely. Whoops. So if you're now looking at your work and it's really tight, mine isn't, it's got a bit of stretch in it. If it's really tight, increase your hook size, or depending on what you're using, by about half. That should be enough, and if you're just careful and relaxed, it'll be okay. Alright, so I'll leave you to it all the way to the end, to the very last one. Now, just remembering that for me, my last stitch is a chain. Okay, so normally I dig through and pick up 2 loops from my chains, but I might just have to, fish around if I don't snag everything, and try just to pick up this one here. Now if you're having trouble getting into it, grab a needle and just jimmy it open a little bit so you can actually get into it more easily. Alright, I'll meet you down here. So I've made it to the end, and I just need to do one more into that top loop of my chain, like that, and I'm done. Now at the end, all we need to do is chain 2 and turn. And now I have to remind you that if you did change your hook size, please switch back now. Alright, and I'll be back in a moment for row 4. So row 4, and back with your normal hooks please. We are going to be working some more extended half double crochet, but first we need to locate the loops again. So we're working in the top loop of the slip stitch. So if you just rotate quickly, here is my slip stitch. These are the slip stitches just jammed in there. This is the third loop from the previous half double crochet. That's the back view so we can see it. And this is the slip stitch. Okay, right there. This is the top loop. I just pull it open a bit, and you can do this too, just gently, not too vivid, not too vigorously, and then turn it, and you can see which loop it is. It's that one. These ones. Okay. Those are your top loops just behind this that looks a bit like a knit stitch and a purl stitch in knitting if you're a knitter. We want the one just above it right there. Okay, so now we know where we need to work. Let's work. We're going to make extended half double crochet. Now the first one doesn't need one because it's got the chain in it. So we start over here. Extended half double crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. The first one, because it's a chain, is a bit wonky. Now again, yarn over, find that top loop, it's right there. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 3. I've got to get my angles right. Now, pull up another one, pull through 1, pull through 3. Now if you just gentle pressure on that loop, it will separate and open up for you. Just gentle pressure, don't force it. And the other thing is to slide towards its edge. See, when you go over here, it just pops open. So that's the other way to do it. If you have a better way, tell me. There we go. So if you just follow that loop through to here, it just splits open for you. And while I'm so busy talking, I hope I'm actually making extended half double crochets, because I kind of lost track of myself. There you go. So just carry on patiently, follow that loop through, slide it open, extended half double crochet. Of course, as soon as I said it, it stopped working for me. Alright, all the way down, let's take our time and chill and make a full set of extended half double crochet all the way to the end, including down here. Now don't miss the last one. It might be a little bit difficult to find it. So here are all, let me just show you actually. Here are all my top loops. I'll use the point, it's easier. Top loop there, top loop there, and I need to find one off that last stitch. So count and make sure you get every single top loop. Alright, 216 for the full pattern, or your own count, whichever it is. So before moving on to the next row, I'm just going to do my last extended half double crochet like there, chain one, and I'll be turning. Alright, and that's what we have so far before we start row 5. Now don't forget to turn, so we're back to the reverse side in a minute. Back soon. So to do row 5 again, we're going to do those slip stitches into the front loops only again. So it's the same principle as down here. So we don't want this loop, we want this one here, right, sitting flush on the top of the stitches. This one. Okay, so let's have another go at this. Now the first one is right immediately here, so we're going to do a slip stitch into that, and again loosely, you may need to change your hook size yet again. Keep an eye on yourself, or just try and work really loosely and relaxed. Pull the yarn up a bit looser and a bit higher than you normally would. I notice myself, I give things a little bit of an extra tug when I'm pulling the yarn through, and that tends to help me loosen up my tension. Okay, so slip stitch all the way down. Oops, there we go. So we can prepare for the next row. Alright, 216 total for the pattern. At the end, you're going to chain 2 and turn again. But remembering that you've got a chain 2 turn already here, so you've got to get a front loop stitch. I would use this one probably to get that last stitch in, so you don't mess up your stitch count. Alright, back for row 6. Okay, so for row 6 we're going to do some more extended half double crochet. So I'm not going to do them with you, just have a quick chat. So remembering that your chain 2 here counts for the first one, so you don't need that first one, you need to come over to this one. And I'm hoping you did not skip putting a slip stitch into the chain as well at the end, so you must be very careful not to miss that stitch. So row 6 is exactly the same as this one, extended half double crochet again. Okay, row 6. Row 7 will then be another row of your slip stitches, which is what we just finished doing a moment ago, the slip stitches. So I won't re-show you those because you've done them twice already. And then row 8 is a final row of your extended half double crochet again, so that you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of extended half double crochet. 4 rows, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So row 8, as I said, finishes off with the extended half doubles, and then I'll rejoin you for row 9 so that we can put the finishing row on this entire section of All Roads Lead Home. I'll leave you with it. I hope you've got the rhythm of it now. Just please check, put stitch markers in your ends if you need to. Don't lose that first and last stitch. Okay, I'll let you go and we'll reconvene for row 9. Remember, 6 is extended half doubles, 7 is another slip stitch row, 8 is a final set of extended half doubles. Back here for 9 soon. Right, so to sum up now, when you finished row 8, this is row 8, you will have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of those extended half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. You will also have 3 of these rows which were the slip stitches made from the reverse. So we made them on this side and then we used the top loop of them here to make our extended half double crochets, hence creating what looks like a road, which is really quite clever actually. So at the end of row 8 you need a chain 1 and to turn. So I've made my chain 1 there and now we turn, which is a major undertaking for all of us, I'm sure. So to finish up row 9, come back and make a single crochet into that first stitch, and now we still need to ignore these loops because these are the third loops from the half double crochet. Rotate, and instead of now just picking up this front loop, we're going to pick up both of the top loops, which will be much easier to do. Nice and easy. Single crochet all the way down into both of those top loops. And that concludes part 13. All roads lead home by the lovely Charmaine. Okay, when you finish, fasten off and secure your ends. I'll do the same, I'll get finished. And then we move on to adding our across the mile section before we move on to part 14. Ta-da!